Good morning, kids. I'm a nuisance with this sound box, but it's still cool. Good morning, good morning. So we are still solving systems by using the eliminate technique. The eliminate technique is a great one because something eliminates, cancels, and it makes the question smaller and easier to solve. So if I look at this first one, it's already been set up for me. How nice. So part of your homework has 6 questions that have already been set up for you, and part of it has 4 questions that you need to set up and do the solving on your own. But I've already set this part up for you, so I thought I'd do a couple of videos of this so you can see what's going on, okay? Let's get started. First of all, let's take a look. We have 1 equation, 2 equations. They're nicely lined up with my x's on top of x's and my y's on top of the y's. Now there's probably 4 different techniques that you can tackle this in addition to graphing it or using another technique called substitution. This one is not set up for substitution, and I don't feel it's set up for graphing. Graphing would be like y equals mx plus b. These are in standard form. They are not in slope-intercept form. So my humble opinion is that they are set up for eliminate because they're nicely stacked. Okay, that's my opinion though. Now, some teachers might use different numbers here to multiply through. That's okay. They're going to get the same answer I do. I'm going to use the numbers that are the easiest to work with. That's just me. So let's review our steps. So step number 1, set it up. Done. I already did it for you. Eliminate. Yes. Does anything eliminate? Let's see. If I add these together, do they cancel? No, it makes 11 x's. If I add these together, do they cancel? No, they make more y's. So eliminate is a no. Our next step is to grab, flip, and change. Grab 2 numbers, flip the numbers, and change the sign of one of the numbers. So I could grab these, flip it, and change the sign. I could grab these and flip it and change one of the signs. It doesn't matter which ones you pick. I would pick the smallest 2 numbers, but that's my option. So you can grab the 5 and the 6 and flip them. That'll put the 6 here and the 5 here. And choose one of them to be negative, because you only need one of them to be negative. Let's review real quick. If you have 10e and 10e, they don't cancel. 10 elephants, 10 more elephants is 20 elephants. Those don't cancel. We're looking for something that cancels. That doesn't cancel. If you have negative 10 elephants and you get 10 more negative elephants, you now have 20 negative elephants. Nothing canceled. You just have a lot more angry critters coming your way. We need 1 to be positive and 1 to be negative. If you had 10 elephants and you lost your 10 elephants, you now have no elephants. So 1 has to be plus, 1 has to be minus, and they have to be the same letter and the same number, okay? That's why we only need 1 negative. We don't need 2, just 1. So I made the 5 the negative. You can make the 6. Actually, doesn't matter. I've just learned from experience, if you make the smaller of the 2 choices the negative, it works out nice. That's just me. So here we go. Our next step is to distribute. Distribute means to share with multiplication. So we're going to take this front number, 6, and we're going to multiply it by that guy. We're going to take that and multiply by that guy and that guy. A calculator right now might be your best friend, so if you don't have one in front of you, go grab one. And then we're going to distribute here. Now, the best part about a video is you can pause it right now. You can pause. Do the distribution part. Come back. Did you do it right, right? If I'm doing all the work and you're just copying it down, you're not doing the risking to learn it. So you could pause right now, give it a go, or the teacher, whoever's doing this video, if it's a sub, could pause it and you give it a try. So why don't you try it real quick? Pause the video, give it a try. Cool. Welcome back. So we have 5 times that, which is 30, excuse me. We have 6 times 18, which is 108y. And we have 6 times 6 is 36, but it will be a negative. By the way, negatives and positive, super important that we keep track of them, okay? 5 times 6, 30, make it a negative, and then put an X on it. So 5 times 6 is 30, negative 30x. Ooh, I see something that cancels soon. We have the same letter, the same number, one's plus and one's minus. They're called opposites. Nice. We have 5 times 9, which is 45, negative 45. Put a y on it. And last but not least, 5 times 18, but make it negative. 5 times 18, but make it negative. So we're going to go with negative 90. Nice. Now let's check out what we got. We're going to be looking for something that cancels. We got it right here. Bye-bye, X's. If you have 30 of something and you lose 30 of that something, it's gone. Now we have, you can use your calculator here, 108 subtract 45. 108 subtract 45. That's going to give us 63y. Now over here you have to be careful. Remember, you know, I like to teach with stories. That's definitely my jam. If you owe someone $90, you owe them $90, and you borrow $36 more dollars, you owe them a lot of money. You owe them a lot of money. That's where that negative comes in. And we're going to add these two numbers together because that's how much you owe them. You owe them 126 bucks. Yikes. What's the opposite of multiply? Divide. Whatever we do to one side, we do it to the other. Nice. And 63 goes into there twice, but it's going to be a negative 2. Okay? So when we're not working with like a real life question like, I bought apples and pears at the store, I bought a taco and a milk, like some of those other questions we were working on, this is an X and a Y. The way we represent our answer will be X equals, Y equals, or some teachers have kids write it as a given point. It's up to you. You could write it both ways. Why not? We now know the Y is negative 2. Cool. So clearly we need to go back and find Mr. X because we don't have it. How do we do that? Well, the same way we did it before. We go back to one of the two original questions, this top guy or this bottom guy. Ms. Miller, does it matter which one I pick? No. Pick whichever one you'd like. I pick the one with the smallest numbers, where there's no fractions or decimals, and I try to avoid negatives as much as I can. That's me though. So I'm gonna pick the bottom one. 6x plus 9y is 18. 6x plus 9y equals 18. Why'd you pick that one, Miss Miller? I don't know, the numbers are kind of smaller and there's no negatives, no fractions or decimals either. So let's look at this. 6x's, I don't know him yet. Remember, I don't know him. Plus 9y, I know him. He's negative 2. So I'm going to take this negative 2 and plop it right in there. Plop. 9 times an unknown, but it's now known. And we have 18. Cool. Let's just finish it off. Remember, when we're solving equations, we want our letters on one side and our numbers on the other. So we have 6x minus 18, 9 times 2, but make it negative. I'm going to add 18 to both sides. Cool. So I have 6x equals 36. The opposite of multiply is a divide. And whatever I do to one side, I do it to the other. My x value is 6. So that means I got to go back up here. Bloop, bloop. And that's my answer, this. You can write it as a point, which tells you you could graph these, and that would be the intersection of the two lines. I don't even have two. Let me try it this way. If I graph the two lines, I'm looking for where do they intersect, like where do they cross and touch. That is that point. But I would never graph these because that would be a lot of work and I don't want to. Okay, so question 1, done. I'm going to stop the video here and maybe do another question or two. So good luck. Have a great day. Bye. I'm proud of you.